Hello, screenwriters, and welcome to Writing for Screens, the screenwriting step-by-step project, episode 222. My name is Glenn Gers, and I come to you every Monday through Friday, if I can make it, at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to let you look over my shoulder, share my screen as I write a script. I am doing this in order to teach an undertaught part of screenwriting, which is the process, the cold, mechanical, relentless work of getting your thoughts and ideas and feelings and aspirations into script form. I'm not trying to teach you how to write a great script or how to write the script that will sell. I am just trying to say, whatever you want to write, you need to get a process to write it. You need to go through that day-to-day, line-to-line thing of figuring out what the outline is, what the scenes are, getting yourselves through the day-to-day work of conceiving, creating, revising. That process is really all you have to hang on to. Everything else, it's going to be on you. You got to figure out your own way to do this. You got to figure out your own ambitions. But one thing that I don't think enough people talk about is just the work of getting it written and getting it written so somebody can read it. So that's all I'm doing, letting you watching me go through that walkthrough, doing a walkthrough of this game so that you can maybe take some tricks or tips that you see, things that I'm doing that I figured out in my 25-year career writing for TV and movies. I just thought it would be helpful. The main thing that this channel is doing, this is not the main thing I'm doing on the channel. You don't have to watch all of these. You don't have to watch any of these. This is not the main thing I would like you to watch. What I would like you to watch is my lessons. The first 3 playlists on my channel: Screenwriting Essentials, Screenwriting Tools, Skills, and Craft, The Process Being a Writer. Those are the main things I have worked on trying to boil them down to 10-minute videos, which just give you what I think are useful skills, useful tools, because that's really the key, as far as I'm concerned, to being a great artist, is having skills and tools and a process. And as hello, Di, and hello, Nathan, and indeed, as Nathan has said, I am today going to say 10,000 subscribers overnight. I hit that level, and I cannot thank you enough. All of you who are watching this, who'd have thunk it? I never really believed that this would happen. I am very, very, very awed and excited and just baffled that this is the case. But how cool. Great to have you here. So let's start writing. Let's do this thing that is what I do, my job here. Let's do the job. Hello, Aspen Runes. Good to see you. I hope everyone's having a fine old time. We are just setting up the document here. Okay, yeah, the last time we were here, I had just gotten to the end of a scene, and we're starting a new scene. All right. So, what is the name of his podcast? See, now I have to go back to the beginning. Hold on. Catching the Chemistry Set Killer. Man, did I not think... Okay. All right. Okay, Catching the Chemistry Set Killer. You've reached the home of George Roisman and Catching the Chemistry Set Killer. All right. Thank you, Kurt M555. Is that a reference to the infamous fake phone number, fake area code, or a fake yeah. Anyway, that movies always have 555 numbers, which really freaks me out. Thank you, Manu. Very, very grateful. Very, very happy to have that. Thank you. Thank all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, all right, he's heading to Pennsylvania. That's right, because he's in Ohio. Okay. Hello, Eddie. Thank you. Thank you. It probably is. It probably is. Cool. Driving a parade onto eyes through the windshield. I hate this sentence. I am just hating this sentence, but I am not sure if I can think of a better version. I mean, the thing is, I could write like, you know, a sign, Pennsylvania, 45 miles or something, but Pennsylvania is too big. There would have to be a specific place in Pennsylvania, and that would be a large city, and he's not going to that. So now here's the question. What I'm doing with this scene is simply cutting. Here's the thing. There's a piece of transition here. He disconnects. He doesn't bother to leave a message. Okay. I want to make sure that he doesn't leave a message. Disconnects, finishes his bourbon, says, hell, as in, oh, hell, I've got to go do this thing that I didn't want to do. But in case someone doesn't understand that, the hell and then a cut to something that is making clear the thing he is reluctant to do, the hell, is that he's driving off to meet them. Yeah. Gardner. That's a lawnmower next door. All right. So I could, in theory, have, for instance, now here's the thing. So what I'm looking for is a cut which says he is going personally to this place. Now, I chose to put it as interior of the car because that way you know it's Norman. The thing is, if I were just to show a highway, exterior highway ramp, sign, Pennsylvania, something, and then show a car driving towards it, we wouldn't really know that particularly was Norman's car. It's not like we know Norman's car or that it's not distinctive. It's not like the Batmobile or something. So I'm trying to make sure that they understand that. So I think by being inside the car and seeing Norman, in theory, we are understanding that he has decided to drive. The truth is, the director is going to choose how to shoot this and what to shoot, and that this is simply I am trying to indicate that he has made the decision to go to George's house. And there's 1,000 ways you can do this. This is one of the things that always happens. You can think, okay, he could, we could show him Google mapping, the route. We could show him getting his car keys and putting on his jacket, but then we wouldn't know where he was going. So what I'm trying to do is indicate A, that he's decided to drive, and that B, he is driving to George's house in Pennsylvania. And that's the thing. Like we could zoom in. I hate to tell them how to shoot something. Although instead of through the windshield, it could be, what I'm thinking is it could be his phone on the dashboard, because we've established he's got a dashboard mount for his phone. And on phone, boom. Take exit 41B to pen. Is this a case of show, don't tell? Yeah. Although, man, do I hate show, don't tell. But yes, no, this is more, yeah, it is a case of show, don't tell. What I'm trying to do is find the thing that needs to be, that the audience needs to know is that Norman is making the decision to drive to George's house. That is the point. Now, yes, he could say, drink his bourbon, say, hell, I guess I'm going to Pennsylvania. He could say that, but who's he talking to? So hello, Rachel. So yes, I am trying to show, don't tell. This is the thing about show, don't tell. I'm thank you, Jakia. I am so glad. Here's the thing about show, don't tell, that there are so many ways to do this. This is what film language is all about. What you're trying to do is indicate an inner thing with the language available to you. Like if this was a book, I could just say Norman realized he had to drive to George's house. But the thing about show, don't tell is what they are trying to say is don't put it into dialogue, which is not, I think it's bad advice. Putting it into dialogue is absolutely a completely legitimate thing to do. Show, don't tell, honestly, what's the difference? What's the difference between showing and telling? I saw a recent social media post from another screenwriting teaching site, and they were saying, show, don't tell. I actually have it here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh no, I think I trashed it because I felt bad. I was gonna kind of mock it. It said something like, don't just state that you are going somewhere, show that you're going somewhere. What's the difference? Honestly, like showing, telling, it's all the same thing. Yes, you are trying to convey information, and how you do it is an interesting artistic choice. But I don't believe that there is honestly a difference between showing and telling. I don't understand what the difference is. It would be like, what if he said, Siri, start the car. I don't know. Like that's fine. That's an action. They're taking an action. The main thing is put everything into a dramatic action. In other words, that's the thing. It's not show, don't tell, because show, don't tell, it suggests that there's something specific about visual over verbal, and that's just not true. What is important is that you think, what creative, simple, clear, dramatically believable way can I tell them this? Because that's really what it is. Can I show / tell? Okay. Siri says plotting chorus too. Yeah. Yeah. Except the thing is, we don't really need that. We just need that's not a show, don't tell. That's a simply how can you convey a thing in such a way that it is believable. Like if he's already driving, first of all, I don't, yeah, I mean, I guess Siri could say something like, 14 minutes to, or whatever. or plotting course 2. I don't want to do the research right now. Whatever number to Pennsylvania. This is one of those things that I'm just going to have to research. I have to research what actually Yeah, the main thing is, have I said? Yeah, it's dark out. All right, so it's dark out here because night was falling here. So, into the night soon after. Okay, so the point is he's saying hell, and then soon after, driving up a ramp onto a highway into the night. Right. Or I don't drive. I don't, and so I don't use verbal car directions on a phone, so I just don't know what it would say. So I'm just going to leave this for. This is the sort of thing that if you guys weren't watching, I would just stop, go on the internet, figure it out, and write it in here. Okay. Don't need that sentence. Okay. Whole damn life is whole damn life was gestures. Didn't you get tired? Oh no. Was that what this was? Please tell me. You know, I'm okay with this. What were you thinking calling out a serial killer? Your whole damn life was crazy. Stupid gestures. Stupid gestures. Didn't you get tired? Didn't you get tired of... what were you thinking calling out a serial killer? Didn't you get tired of making grand? Your whole damn life was grand with stupid gestures. Didn't you get tired of... That was just stupid gestures. Didn't you get tired of? This is absolutely not important, but I hate leaving that. I hate leaving that part of the. There we go. There we go. Is that correct? No. Is that I should put a space there, but I'm not going to. The other thing you could do is just move the move the margin on the dialogue for just a bit. Boom. No, see, it doesn't work that way. Anyway, not important. Tired of... Okay. Oh no, was this was way out with a bang? I'm just trying to tighten. Okay. Hairy and polite. See, I do think it's important that Madelyn raise the issue because it's good. Well, raise the issue that that George staged his death. That this was a just. The police are gonna suspect possibly, like, because one of the main questions is why don't the police do more to hi Larry, do more to hunt the serial killer, since it's the serial killer's MO. And one reason is they think it's a copycat. The other reason might be that they believe that George staged his suicide in such a way as to make it look like a murder. So they wouldn't be looking for the real murderer because they don't believe there was one. So that's why this is here. Clean up. I'm going to stay here to clean up. Well, that's better. Look at that. Little things. I'm not staying here to clean up. What were you thinking calling out a student? Yeah. Your whole damn life was stupid gestures. Did you get tired? Oh, no. Was that it? Was that what this was? Was that what this is? Was that it? Was that it? A way out with the man. Okay. Okay. But I grew up in this house back when. I was up in the attic with my brother Theo. He's a radiologist. So my sisters could have the nice bedrooms. One of them became it. One of them's a nun now. One of them is a nun now. One of them became a nun. Anyway, I was on my way through town and I thought maybe I could just come in and walk around a little. You know, memory lane. That's a good speech. It's good enough for the moment. One of them became a nun. So my sister's got that. He's right. It's like, how long do I want to run this? Because like he can run this for a long time, telling what the different sisters was, and it was my brother Theo. He's a radiologist now, so my sister's got the nice parents. Joanna's a nun now, sister. Joni. The nice bedroom. Now, so my sister could have the nice bedroom. Sister could have the nice bedroom. Now she's a nun. My sister, the sister. All right. It is just, yeah. Because the basic thing is he is just making shit up to try and disarm her. And it's a little weird, but I grew up in this house back when I was up in the attic with my brother Theo. He's a radiologist now, so my sister could have the next bedroom. My sister got the bedroom. My sister got the bedroom. Our sister got the bedroom. Nice. Got the bedroom. Got the nice. Our sister got the nice bed at the bedroom. Now she's a nun. My sister, the sister. Anyway. I was on my way through town, and I thought maybe I could just come in and walk around, you know. Try to make sense of this. That is the correct answer. Okay. Sorry, it's not a great time. Yeah, I'm going to leave that. Okay, no worries. You have a blessed day. Taking off the weirdness. Weirdness. Away with. See, now I'm saying it twice because I'm saying. Yeah, that's it. Of the past 24 hours. There we go. Okay, I don't like away, 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 away. But not bad, not bad. And then we've got the considers this, makes sense of this. There we go. Backs off. There we go. Now I don't have away, away. I have backs off. Backs off. Madelyn shuts the door, filing the weirdness away with the rest of the past 24 hours. That's not bad. That's all right. Okay. Okay. Okay, no, I can't let this take over my life. It's a whole house. I'm gonna have people. I'm just gonna have people come. I have to get people to come. I'm just gonna have to get people to come box it all up. I don't know. I don't even know it. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know what probate is. Have you submitted the garrison formulations? Okay, I'm just making up stuff. That is the key here, is that she does a job that doesn't matter to us. Garrison formulations to, you submitted the garrison formulations to legal. My signature, I gotta go. My signature, gotta go. Okay. Okay. You know, does she need to say this? I'm just gonna box it up. Yeah, you know what? So hold on, so I'm just gonna make you submit it. Did you submit? Did you submit? Did you submit? Have you submitted is too many. No, the date in the corner of the page is the date of the latest time I exported it to PDF and put it on the website, so that it's like uh, the it's the date of the draft. It's what I leave that there because suppose there's different drafts floating around, and there's no real way to tell which one is which, especially if something happens to the cover page or if I didn't bother to update the cover page. So by having it in the footer of every page, which it's in every page. That's a way of just letting, like, if there's more than one version of a script that I'm showing to other people. If it's just for me, I don't worry about it because I can just usually I would like save documents and the name would be the document name. But in theory, these scripts are going to be passed around to other people eventually, and so I want to make sure that they're not reading from a different script than I am. So I just put the date on. Also, for those of you who might be looking at them. Okay. It's a whole house. I'm just gonna have people come box it. Just gonna have people. I'm just gonna have people come box it all up. To Goodwill. Listen, now, did you? Did you submit the Garrison formula? I'm just gonna have people come box it all up. I'm just gonna, let's not get too detailed. Right, here's the thing. This is actually a change of topic. I'm just gonna have people come box it up. Did you submit but I think that's okay. I think an actor reading it would recognize that there's a turn there that I don't have to indicate. Oh, hey, my dinner's here. Gotta go. Gotta go. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. You know what? Oh, hey, my dinner's here. There we go. Cool. Well, you are not are I cannot be sure that people will know the metadata. So and this is not on Windows, but anyway, in general, the other thing is when you are working with a team, it is just good to identify documents to make sure that if you are starting a new draft or a new document, you that you make it clear that you help people to know where you stand. It has happened that when you're working with companies and stuff, the wrong draft gets submitted or sent around or something. People are working on different versions of things. It's just why not just put the date on it, or put like draft 7 or whatever. It doesn't have to be the date. Okay. That doesn't have to be logo printed apron. Yeah. Don't know why that was. I don't even know why this is capitalized. Holding plastic bag. Yes, thank you. Cashworks in 1905. We're going to hyphenate that. Boom. Hi, flying over trout. Yeah, notes his gaze. I'm just trying. That's better. Sometimes you just be straight. You know what? I don't even need it instead. I don't even need that. Okay. Massive congrats on the 10K. Might be a hairy question. Have you ever been affected or sidetracked by competition and how others are accomplishing? Comparison disease. That is a good question. This is a good question. Yes and no. I have a fiercely anti-competition streak in my makeup. Like when there is a competition, my instinct is to reject it, to just like walk away from any possible competition. I hate competition, just like in my nature. I don't know why, but it just rubs me the wrong way. Even in things that are competitive, it kind of bugs me. But most things I think are made competitive when they are not. Like who has what job or who makes how much money. That's not actually a competition. That's actually like different people doing different things. So for me, and actually I got to say this partly for in artistic questions, I think it's really important to check out this video I did about this, because contest versus library is about competition. It's about the question of whether or not art can be a competition. Because I don't think it can be. I don't think, like, how do you say, like, what's the best movie? When they say, like, what's the best picture of the year, what they're saying is what was voted in a popularity contest by this club. That's what Best Picture of the Year Academy Award means. And it's nice. It's an interesting thing, but it's not the best picture. Likewise, the number one movie of the weekend is simply the movie that sold the most tickets. That's a money competition for ticket sales. That's not an artistic competition. So for me, one of the big problems is the thing we are doing is actually not capable of being competed. Like how can you put one piece against another? They're different. So you're not. It's like putting a race between a helicopter and a boat. It's just like they're different. One's in the air, one's on the water. You're Anyway, so my nature is to feel competition is just insane. But I have been. So I don't get like I don't ever actually get like, oh my God, so and so is doing better than me, or so and so accomplished this and that reflects badly on me, or the only thing I might look at it that way is if there was like a specific job and I was applying for it and someone else got it. I would feel, oh, they took this. There's like 5 of us were trying to get this one position and one of us got it. But I still don't think of that as competition. I think of it as just, I don't know. It just doesn't occur to me that makes, like, they didn't get it because they did what I did better. They did a different thing and that different thing was wanted. That's how I would look at that. So I am not affected or sidetracked that much by competition or how others are accomplishing things. The comparison disease, I urge you to consider, and this is partly just your nature. And I do believe that. I believe that, like, when they get really good at brain chemistry analysis or neuron connection analysis, they're going to figure out that this particular set of neurons working this way is more competitive, like wants competition more than other people. Or maybe I'm just chicken. I don't know. but all I know is that to me, it just doesn't actually feel like a competition. And if it does feel like that to you, all I can urge you to do is to try to steer your competitive sense to your personal best. In other words, compete with yourself. That makes sense because it's within your control, and also you're at least competing with someone who's actually like you. So that you could say, like, is my next script better in some way than the last script? That seems like healthy competition. So that's what I would say to you, is try to steer away from competition with others, because some people will say that competition feeds accomplishment. That if you have it's like somebody else is racing next to you, you'll run harder. Except that you're running a different race than they are in the arts. So therefore it will not help you. It will only harm you. So I would say the main thing you do is, like, if you want to set yourself against your own pace, you want to say, yesterday I did this in 10 seconds, tomorrow I want to do it in 9. Cool. If that is productive, if that is accomplishing the end result. But remember, the end result is not I can do this faster or make more money or whatever. The end result is this. I want this to be better. Now, yes, if you can get recognition, that's lovely. But there's so many things that the competition is not recognizing. For instance, to say, my script is good if it sells is simply not true, because it will only sell if it happens to fit a market. So if all you're doing is trying to sell, yes, then you should be competitive. But if you are actually trying to do good work on the theory that good work will connect with someone who is also trying to, for whatever their reason, make good things, that's the actual goal. Like, competition is not going to spur artistically better work. I do think that there are people who will say, like, damn, Christopher Nolan, made a really complex script. I'm going to make mine more complex than Christopher Nolan. If you do that because you love complexity, cool. That makes sense. That's artistic competition that makes sense. To me, if somebody says, oh, Christopher Nolan sold more tickets with complexity, and therefore, even though I don't particularly care about complexity, I'm going to do more complexity, that strikes me as just bad art. You're making bad decisions. So that's not good. Competition is not good. If you really, really love witty dialogue, and somebody else writes a script and you read it and you go, oh man, that dialogue is witty, I'm going to make mine more witty. That's fine. But you want actually, like, line by line, like, oh, that line was 10% wittier. It just does what's the competition? So yeah, what I would say, I actually urge you, if you are having trouble on this, to look at this particular video. And the other thing I urge you to do is, if you are having trouble getting a grip on this, steer towards competition with yourself and steer towards artistic goals, because artistic goals will naturally bring you to, I need to do my own art, as opposed to I need to do what they're doing. So the more that you can work on what you consider artistic quality, and by the way, artistic quality can be, super action sequences. I'm not saying artistic quality means art film. I'm saying whatever you consider artistic quality, but the point is, you don't judge that by whether or not it is popular or if it is well paid. You judge the competition can only be in trying to do this creative thing. Are they successful? And if they are, hopefully you will learn a little from what they're doing, or want to emulate and improve on their technique. That competition is healthy. Is that making sense? I hope it is. Yeah. Okay. Flying Over Trout says, I cut out all Instagram, Twitter, focus on writing. Good. I think that's good. that's competition with yourself. Yeah. For some people, social media is a way to relax, and then great. If like when you're done writing, social media helps you. If social media is making you feel worse, yeah, get off. I read the screenplay for Ben's Back from Peter Hedges, who's a terrific writer. Yeah, I haven't seen Ben's Back, and I certainly haven't read it. I've always been curious about it. Peter Hedges is good. I like Peter Hedges. Okay. Good. Yay. I've accomplished something. Hi, Pedro. Nice to see you. Okay. So yeah, good. We are dealing with competition. This is it. I feel very strongly about this. I remember I once met when back in my New York days, back in the early 90s, I was, I think maybe mid 90s. Anyway, a friend of mine had another friend who was a aspiring TV and screenwriter, and he arranged a dinner for the three of us. And we had dinner, and this person actually went on to great success in the world, like much more success than I had. But the thing that was interesting was we were three writers sitting at a table in Queens, in a little apartment, and I was actually like those pictures of people with their hair blown back by like a force of wind. The amount of competition coming off this guy was shocking to me, because I just don't think that way, and I don't have many friends who are like that. So I had never met someone like this, who just absolute strangers in the shared field doing a shared thing, and at the time were at a shared level, and all I could feel from this person was competition. I remember it was the first time I was conscious that there were people who were looking at this as a fight, a battle, like a zero-sum game. Art is not a zero-sum game. There are plenty of slices for everybody. Once again, boom. Anyway, I remember that's how alien it was. I was in my 20s, and I had never really conceived of competition in that artistic competition. Artistic competition to accomplish something creatively makes sense to me. Competition in the sense of external rewards does not make sense to me. And also, it doesn't make sense to me to compete in the sense that, okay, like David E. Kelley. David E. Kelley writes like a lot. David E. Kelley is incredibly productive. I do not know what he is like as a person. All I know is that he churns out more work than most people. Stephen King, too. And I love Stephen King. But man, he's productive. Okay, should I be in competition with him? Like, gee, I should be writing more. Yeah, I mean, if I feel like I'm not writing up to my potential, but I don't have to write up to their potential. They're different. I will be writing more than some people, but it doesn't matter how much you write. If you write one great thing and that's all you do, cool. And if you write 500 good things, cool. And if you write 500 bad things, cool. You do the best you can and don't worry about it. That's my thing. Hey, hi, Nacho. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's my, I feel strongly about this, but I also recognize that I am working off of my chemistry, my brain function, and that it's very easy to say, for instance, if you don't have a particular craving for chocolate and somebody else is really struggling with, how hard it is on a daily basis not to eat too much chocolate, it's very easy to say, oh, don't feel that. Don't worry about that. This chocolate's not that important. Okay, chocolate, to me, competition is that. Actually, chocolate is far more important to me. but that's actually what I was astonished by. I once read a scientific study. I didn't read the study, or a report on the study, that one of the main reasons that some people have an easier time with certain addictions or weight loss or exercise or various things in life is they simply don't want the opposing thing that much. It's not that it's easier for them to overcome the conflict. They just don't have as much of the conflict. So once again, kind of an unfair competition to say, oh, it's easier for this person to not eat chocolate, because they're stronger or they put in more effort. That's not what it is. It's that they don't want it that much. So I recognize that I don't want competition that much. I actually feel very uncomfortable in competitive senses. And if I win things, I feel rather uncomfortable. I like it. I'm not going to say I didn't like it, and I will not, enjoy that accomplishment. But I doesn't feel like that was the point. So I recognize that I am saying rather easily, don't worry about that, when in fact it may be a real struggle for you. And if it is, all I can say is therapy, like self-help books, things, look into competition, and maybe get some coaching or some help with that, because it's a legitimate thing to say, like, this is particularly hard for me. I could use some help with it. That's cool. Art won't solve that. You can't solve that with like changing your artistic style or something. That's not gonna happen. So therefore I would say, recognize that if you are very competitive and it is destructive to your creativity, that's something you may want to take on in your life, because you can't take it on in your art. Your art can only be what it is. Your art is only going to be what it is. Art, what you do artistically, you can steer it a little bit. You can say, oh, I want to choose an art form that pays more or pays less, but that's artistically questionable. Sometimes you can't do that. Anyway, those are my thoughts on competition. A lot of thoughts on. I have a lot of thoughts about this. I feel strongly. Okay. But I feel strongly that do not just take my decisive clarity on the subject as that it is easy. It is not easy to not be competitive. That just happens to be, like, every time I feel frustrated or something, my thought is always, I have to do something about this. I have to turn it to me. That's where my power lies, and that's where my accomplishment will be, and that's where my focus has to be. I just don't think that much about other people. Ouch. Okay. Okay, this is fine. Yeah. This is kind of a good line. This is a kind of line. See, I like this kind of line because this line, if it's not explained, it's the sort of thing a person really would say, is that she knows him. She has her feelings. She has resolved her feelings or dealt with her feelings 30 years ago. She doesn't need to talk it out. People tend to have, once they have decided who someone is in their life, they know it. They say it. They can. So I kind of like that this line is sort of catchy, but it's like somebody who has already thought about this and doesn't need to say no. And this is actually a great exchange because, well, this whole scene, I love this scene because she is groping for her feelings and he is totally focused on inarticulately, in little one-word beats, selling her drugs. But she has no idea that's where this is going. So cool. Yes. Obviously, she waits. Don't need that. Can't quite. So he says drugs. And she says, yeah, I mean, I don't know, when we were together, yes. Like, she doesn't know. She's like working through her issues about George. And I meant, do you want some? Oh, I sell some stuff that's not on the menu, if you know what I mean. I do. Understand. No, understand that. I just thought, yeah. She says, yeah, okay, I'm on edge. I know I'm on edge. Greetings, Ray. And I will leave that personal exchange to Alex and Pedro. Yeah. This is cool. This is good. We are doing good. This is one of my favorite scenes. I'm just going to talk for a minute about this scene because I love it so much. This is a really good example of a scene. Like, it's beginning, middle, and end. This character we have never met shows up. He's got an agenda. She's got an agenda, which is, frankly, to get him to go away. But then, so that's what I mean. Like, to understand what the scene is she has a very simple agenda: give the guy his money, get his to dinner, close the door. He's gone back to what she's really thinking about. So, so she's working her agenda here. Then, he changes the topic. He does an adjustment. Okay, which is here. That as she's taking the money, she just wants to do the transaction, but he is looking around like, oh man, this is the murder site. People are talking about this in town, and this woman is dealing with it. I bet I can sell her some drugs. So, and also he's just like, it's gossip, it's fun. So with this line, he shrugs, which is acknowledging that he is changing. He is moving on from the transaction. Okay. First part of this scene is transaction between Madelyn and Kyle. Transaction over his job. Okay. Second part is he changes the topic. He changes it to her tragedy. Okay. This is where that guy got serial killed. Yeah. Poisoned, right? Okay. So she's not interested in going here, but he's pushing it. So she insists on keeping her transaction of this scene as the point. Okay. But she does recognize that his interest would be, of course, it's gossip. So she says, makes a little joke. Yeah. Poisoned. Yeah. Thus takeout. I like the thus because it's high class. It's intelligent. Okay. So now this is a new turning point. Okay. So we've had part one of the scene, transaction. Part two of the scene, he pushes against the transaction towards a new thing that she doesn't want. Now she is waiting for him to take the hint and leave, but he doesn't. He then makes conversation. Are you his mom? Which is just, this teenager can't tell the difference between people over his age, so he thinks Madelyn and George are somehow radically different ages. Ex-wife, once again, she's giving the absolute minimum. She is trying not to be dragged out of her version of the scene into his. But he, when he hears it's the ex-wife, he's like, oh, wow. He's even being kind of personal. You must be. And she's like, I'm not. I don't want to talk about this. And he's like, pissed. Like, he's talking about feelings that other people would not admit she would have, which is she's mad at her ex for getting himself murdered. And that flusters her. That's a transition for her, is that she was pushing back like, no. And he's pushing to be personal. And then he kind of surprises her. And so she's actually like, oh, wait, that feeling is possible. And I wouldn't admit it to people, but he just mentioned it. So I kind of am angry at George. She's talked about that before. But no, I don't know. Let's not, I don't know. So she's confessing her confusion. This is another transition. Okay. We did this little section here, oh, wow, let's talk. And then she's, no, I don't know what I am. He continues to be personal. He's like, wow, it sucks. That's actually commiserating, which lets her talk personally, truthfully. And then so now she's actually like breaking down to a personal conversation a little bit. And he is meanwhile, okay, door-to-door salesman. He managed to get her to drop her defenses. So he says, drugs, which since she's having a personal conversation now, she's moved on. She's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe. And he's like, I meant, do you want some? Boom. The entire topic of the scene just changed. Oh my God, this kid has been trying to sell me drugs since the beginning. I am just realizing that, Madelyn is thinking. And he's now explaining what he meant. And she's like, yep, I'm caught up. And he's like making his sales pitch. This will help you because you're edgy. She says, no, I'm not edgy. And then she admits, yeah. And he sees in this line that she is open to the sale. And so he starts to offer the specifics. Okay. That is a scene. Okay. We've gone from her wanting to get her dinner and get done to him selling her drugs, which is going to change the entire direction of her night and the entire story. This is a pivotal scene in little tiny bits of dialogue that are, this is a scene I'm very, very happy and proud of. So, thank you. You can always catch it, on rerun, but frankly, most of this was already written. I tinkered with a couple of the stage directions, honestly. I didn't change the dialogue, I think, at all. Because I got it right, 2 months ago. Okay, but I just wanted to talk about this because it's a rare example where I can actually break down beat by beat, line by line, how a scene operates. And when you're writing, you should be thinking, that's what they're like, this person's doing this, but that person's doing that, which is all about dramatic action. Okay, that is the point of a scene. And this scene, particularly good at laying out almost all in subtext, but actable. It's playable. They can play those. It's almost impossible not to play these lines that way. So anyway, I'm just very proud of that scene, and I'm going to. So that's page 24. Kyle. Okay. Okay, so that's what that scene was about, and that was important stuff. Okay, once again, thank you for being subscribers and watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow. In the meantime, go write something.